you listened to the package that we ran earlier, and the gentleman who was speaking from Gallaudet University, Professor Ong'olo, said that the number one disability is people's attitude towards people with disabilities. And I'm wondering, with your organization, the Secretariat of the African Decade of Persons with Disabilities, how widespread is this, and what are you seeing in terms of at least perceptions changing when it turns to people with disabilities?
Thank you. I think the whole issue of attitude is cross-cutting across the continent, and mainly it's constructed through our cultural belief systems. And you find different cultures having different terminologies that demeans, criticizes, or projects person with disability as not fully included in the community. And these are some of the things that, because they are constructed in our languages, they shift when we talk either in English or French or Portuguese, and these, as a result, perpetuate a discrimination of person with disability. But we are also aware that within our languages in Africa, that or within the different histories of our different communities across Africa, we've had heroes with disabilities, and we've had kings, we've had icons, warriors, and through such kind of role models, persons with disability within our communities have been able to stand tall. But we, as part of the Secretariat of the African Decade, which is an FAU initiative, is trying to put focus on realizing the African dream of including people with disability across Africa.
Now,
the EU has declared 10 years for people with disability, and we hope that through this initiative, that through the media, through such kind of programs, we will be able to showcase that people with disability need to be included so that they can participate more in the society.
And many wonder why they wouldn't. I mean, there you are in serving in the capacity of this decade of the Persons with Disabilities for Africa, and you have so many examples, as you've cited, everybody very capable. Yet there's still this perception that people with disabilities are limited in what they can do. And I wonder, what is your take on what governments specifically are doing? When you look at, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, there are about 40 countries in Africa that have signed it, but only about half have ratified it. Does this say anything about their commitment to people with disabilities, to ensuring that they live the kind of life that they're entitled to as human beings?
I would say that there's new awakening in the continent of Africa in terms of acknowledging rights of persons with disability. I think if you look at quite a number within the last 20 years, the UN instrument, I think this was the first UN instrument which had the highest ratification and which came to effect sooner than ever. So I think in terms of Africa government commitment, that speaks loud. Secondly, I think I would also say that we are beginning to see a paradigm shift in terms of legislation and policies being put in place by a couple of African governments. We see now disability being spread or being seen as a development issue. Quite a good number of countries in the past, you'd see that if you had a child with disability, then it was the Minister of Social Welfare in terms of education, health, employment. But now we're beginning to see within the different pieces of legislation or different policies, whether in terms of manpower, development, you see an aspect of disability within the manpower.
Okay.
In ministries of agriculture, we are beginning to see that shift, that even within the Department of Agriculture, having focus on persons with disability. And I think that's a new mindset that with the African Decade and the reporting systems that governments are being being expected to report. But what are they doing?
What are they doing? Well, Mr. Ong'olo, we'll pick that up with you.